Hey everyone, welcome to my show. Be sure to hit like, follow, and subscribe on YouTube and Twitch for all my exclusive content. Good evening, everybody. Happy Thursday, and welcome on in. Oh, wait a minute. I feel like I'm missing something. No. Okay. Happy Thursday. Hope you're all doing well out there. And aloha to you too, Dr. Iron Chef. Thank you very much for the 100 bits. Welcome on in, Carissa. Also throwing in a Twitch Prime subscription. 1 year anniversary, 12 months. Thank you very much for that. Also, good evening, Lloydson, Lord Ascaron, Mr. Belair, Lord Hollywood, Ace, and everybody else lurking out in the shadows. Is tonight the night my arms fall off? Arms, chest, back, push-ups really are like a complete workout, right? That's why the military makes you do so many of them. But yes, tonight is that night. I'm already regretting this, but yes, tonight is that night. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. In the meantime, let's see where we're at here. All right, so we got to do some Q's trials and a Titan buff. That's not bad. Are they one-handed? No. Definitely not. Hollywood, you were trying to lurk while you were finishing up working? No problems. Oh yeah, there'll be quite a few going on here throughout the next 2 hours. Be trying to space them out a little bit. But we got a lot to do. We got a lot to do. First things first, though. Let's go hit that survey. I also want to check out my field training. How are we doing on this one? 2137. Okay, so we're getting a little closer. But I still got about 800 to go. Chris, you need to learn to exercise. I mean, it's not that hard. You just start doing some, even if you're just like tasker sizing, right? Just to get a little movement, get a little mobility going. You're standing there washing the dishes or brushing your teeth. There's like little ways you can just get your body moving and stuff while you're doing that kind of stuff. Or you're waiting in line at the supermarket. You can do some ab crunches just by contracting and flexing your muscles while you're there. You can do some calf raises, little things that you can just start integrating. Before bed, you do one or two quick little things, or when you get up in the morning, you do one or two quick little things, and then once that becomes part of your new normal routine, then you just expand on it. Easier said than done, of course. We're all, creatures of habit, and creating new ones takes a while, for sure. Ace, you need the motivation exercise. That is what it comes down to. I think Tom Segura, the great comedian, was talking about one of his stand-up specials. He lost a lot of weight between one special and the next special. He lost a lot of weight. It was like 50 or 60 pounds. And he was talking a little bit about it, and people were like, "Oh, you look so great. Like, what are you doing? Like, we want to do what you're doing." He's like, "No, you don't." He's like, "Unless you like really hate yourself, you don't want to go through this. You want to keep living your comfortable life, doing what you're doing, eating the foods that you're eating, just getting by." It's like when you truly, truly like hate yourself, then you're ready to start making a change, to start exercising and try and seriously lose weight and stuff like that. And well, I don't know you necessarily have to hate yourself, but if you are going to make some type of big change, you do have to be very unhappy with the way things currently are. Happy people don't usually change things about things. They usually just keep going because they're happy doing what they're doing. So he's not wrong. Of course, he said it in a funnier way, but I'm paraphrasing, of course. Belair's got a poll. Should you take the safe op exchange or go risky? Oh, you're talking about for the NX01? Should you do the opportunity chest, the easy one, or go for the risky one? Excuse me. I say go for it. What's the kid say? YOLO? You only live once? Just go for it. Just do it. Just do it. You're just going to have to come back and do it again tomorrow anyway, so if today sucks, well, you'll just do it again tomorrow. Thank you guys very much for getting that little hype train going. We got into level 1 there a little bit, which I will always be appreciative of. All right, so it's Thursday. That means it's Apex. So we've got Apex running as usual. But we also have Return of the Mega Cube running. Our typical normal 3-day event. With target practice on the first day. I think day 2 is usually something involving recruiting people, isn't it? And then it starts the Armada event. But day 3 is also the one that has the rebate, where if you do the Mega Cube, you get the currency back. So don't do your Armadas. Day 2 is also going to be run right smack dab in the middle of Incursions, which is also happening tomorrow. Yep, it's tomorrow already. So that should make that event a little more challenging. But again, day 2, I don't feel like there's a whole lot usually going on. Usually day 3 is the more busy day, and that's going to fall on the weekend here. Belair, you went risky? Okay. We still have this Xborg researcher event going on. We also tacked on yet another opportunity to source Archer and Shran shards. If you didn't get any through the Syndicate event that they relaunched, you can pick up a couple of them here. But you can also get shards for them through these various Armada events. So you've got this Armada SLB, Armada Hunt SLB. Now it says here, scoring the event by spending FKR Armada directives. It does not say you have to kill FKR Armadas. It just says you have to spend the directives you would normally use to start FKR Armadas. So what that means is that you can use them on Cardassian Armadas, which have shorter cooldown timers and respawn rates. You can also, if you wanted to, you could probably use them on Swarm Armadas and other stuff too. Now, only rares and epics, well, uncommons do score for this a little bit for the SLB. So you could get some scoring if you wanted to try and run some uncommons. Maybe get yourself a couple extra Archer shards. But the SMS over here only counts rares and epics. Now, I need 47,000 points, which is some combination of, I think it's 7 epics is what you would need total, because you get 7,500. 15,000 is 2, 45,000 is 6, and then I'm 2,000 points short. So 6 epics and a rare, I think, is what you would need to do, if you would even want to go through this. You've got 4 milestones here of tritanium and crystal resources. So if you're desperate for these resources, the first 4 milestones there pay out those. If you go the extra mile, you can pick up 5 shards for Shran and 5 more for Archer. Are they worth the extra 15,000? I think it's going to depend on what it does for you, right? If these 5 shards unlock him, okay, excuse me, maybe that's worth it to you. If you already have 57 out of 115 shards, are these 5 more going to make that much of a difference that you'd want to run the extra couple of armadas? Well, probably not in that scenario then. Do I think the event is worth it? Personally, I don't, because the Archer shard, like, I have enough thanks to the uh, Syndicate event and whatnot and the other SMS event. I have Archer. He's unlocked. I'm halfway, like, picking up 5 more shards isn't going to help, isn't going to do anything. And tearing him up really isn't even all that big of a deal, because most of what you're using him for is his captain's ability anyway. And thanks to the Syndicate event, I did get the extra couple shards I needed to unlock Shran, so I don't even need to go that far to do that. So, personally, I'm opting to save what Armada directives I have. Yeah, it's possible, like Carissa says, the extra 15,000 points just for 5 of each officer. Like, you've run 4 already, or you've hit this milestone already, right? You ran 4 epics and a rare, and you hit this milestone already. And then you're like, okay, well, I got all the resources. Now what? It's like, well, each epic after that you run would get you, like, this first run an epic, get 5 shards for Shran. May not be worth it for most people. Let's just boil it down to what it is. He's not that great of an officer universally. Mild little, like, below deck adjustments and things. Certainly it will make some improvements, but and bye bye. Yeah. Minor, minor adjustment to your mining abilities. Not going the extra mile there. And then if you want to tack on, let's do one more epic. Why not? Because I've already run 4 of them, or 5 of them at this point. Let's run a 6th. Just for those extra 5 Jonathan Archer shards. I'm personally going to pass, but like I said, if it's that makes the difference, between unlocking him or tearing him up, again, also taking into account what you can get out of the Syndicate event. Is there anything there that's going to make a difference for you? So, not overly thrilled with it, but it is a good opportunity for some tritanium and some other resources as well, if you're so inclined, or if you just happen to need some epic, some credits, right? If you're going to be doing chest pulls anyway, or you need materials to do some chest pulls, it doesn't hurt to pick up some stuff. Like, where am I at? So, I mean, obviously, I do have the directives. I could do it, um, but I don't know that it's worth it. I might just run, 1 or 2 rares, get that first milestone or two, take the 20 billion par steel and some of this crystal, and just be like, all right, I'm good. You're op 61 and you don't care about him. I can understand that. Him and, like, T'Pol, they're aimed more at lower ops players who would benefit more from a mining boost. It will have an impact on your mining rate, but I mean, if it took you, from, what am I mining at here? My Nova is mining at 150,000 an hour. If it gave me a little bit of a boost and now I'm mining at 155,000 an hour, like, yeah, it's a little better. It saves a little time. In the grand scheme of things, is it making an impact in terms of my daily grind and loot gathering and things like that? Probably not. Maybe someday. If we think about it in the long scheme of things, well, if I save, 45 minutes to an hour today, and I do that every, once or twice a week, sure, it adds up, and I save a whole lot of time over the long haul. But yeah, and that's true too. Of course, the bigger the miners get, the less. Again, the higher you get, the bigger your miners get, the less of an impact the officers and stuff are going to have on stuff like that. So, what's going on, Gong Car? All right. As soon as I'm dead here, we're going to get some of these push-ups out of the way. I believe I saved the graphic somewhere. Let's see if I can go find it. There we go. Twitch push-up challenge. Yeah. All right. So here's what we're talking about here. It's 248 is the number. So that's where I was on January 1st. That's where I was on February 1st. We gained 124 followers at 2 push-ups apiece. I should have done 1 push-up apiece if I was going to make it a month-long event, but I didn't. So I got to learn that one the hard way. So yeah, so how are we going to do this? We're going to do, what, 12 sets of 20 for 240, and then I'll just sneak in the other 8. I think that's the way to go. I'll do, yeah. All right, let's just move that over here to the side for now. Ambulance is on standby. 1 set of 248. There you go. Yeah, we'll just keep doing them until I throw up or my elbow dislocates itself, right? Sure. More likely my wrist, elbow, shoulder, back, hip, tear a bicep, whatever. It's all gonna be. It's all for the content, right, folks? Hey, you make a promise, you keep a promise. I said I would do it. I said I would do it in February, thanks to the January results that we got. So I got it just in under the wire. Happy leap year. So let's go ahead. I'm going to take the headset off here. We're going to do our first sets. Get these going, get warmed up here. We're going to do I'm going to do a set of 20. I'm going to rest for about 30 seconds or so, and then I'm going to do another set of 20. So let's move this camera angle here. I should bubble up before somebody comes and kills me. All right. Let's go ahead and get this show on the road, shall we? With set numbers 1 and 2 coming right up. Well, hang on a second. I forgot to change my settings. Turn off my filter temporarily. That's the one I want to turn off. There we go. All right. Now we can flip the camera around and give this a shot. First 40 done. Only 5 more rounds of that to go. Ooh. Yeah, we're going to take the hoodie off for the next set for sure. But, I had to get warmed up first here. Oh, let's not forget our handy chocolate milk. Ooh. Hey, what's up, Netniv? Thought you wandered into a strange silent movie. Well, yes, this is the not quite Jane Fonda's workout. Certainly don't have the spandex or the leg warmers. Alright, so we do have to go kill some boar costals here, so let's get that done while we're recuperating. Or did I do that already? Why do I feel like I did that already? Maybe I didn't. No, I guess I didn't. I did it on the other account, I guess. There's an epic. Let's go jump in. Speaking of armadas, I mean, if other people want to start them, I certainly have no problems with, showing up for some extra loot here. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's go full loot crew. Why not? Why not? I feel like I'm just heavy breathing now into the microphone. That's got to be some interesting sound effects too. What? Oh, hey. Sorry. I'll take things I haven't done. No, never actually did that either. Not even going to start that rumor. Yeah, let's get that Sanctus out there. Oh, one of our guys just hit 60. My free-to-play account, I hit the button last night to start cooking Ops 46 over there. But I'm not going to speed that up just yet. Pain-induced ASMR. There you go. You're taking the laptop up to the bedroom, setting the volume at 100% so the wife can... Oh, my. Condolences on 60. 60 is fine, right? There's nothing terribly wrong with 60. It's 61 where you get into all the problems. Like getting to 60 and building a G5 epic. Like, I feel like that's not a bad place really to be. Maybe some of your events might change if they're 6, but I would think not, because everything should be 61 plus, right? For a lot of these shenanigans. Why did I choose the Sanctus? Well, I had the credits for it, and everyone told me how awesome it was. I didn't actually look too hard into comparing the ships, but you know, we can do that right now. Pure pressure, absolutely. Everybody just said, it's like everyone tells you to get a Pylum, right? They're just like, get a Sanctus, it's the best. And I was like, all right, I'm sure that sounds reasonable. But I mean, we can take a peek and compare the two of them, three of them, real quick. Because I probably have enough credits for Sam Peck as well. I'm like 50 million reps short, but that's not a problem to get that. Let's just finish up this event real quick. Am I done yet? How many more do I have to kill? Oh, we're not even halfway done. I need 1.5 billion points? Okay. This might take a minute. Alright, so let's put that on hold for a second. So let's look at our ships here. We've got a Sanctus, we've got a Sompek, we've got a Crozier. Well, the Crozier was out right off the bat for two reasons. One, I'm not working on FedRep, and two, well, battleships require a ridiculous amount of ore, as you can clearly see here. So does every building that you really need to, they force you to keep upgrading. So again, battleships, you know, this is going to be tough to source the materials for it, trying to get this rare ore and epic ore. Also, because I already have a Vorcha, I've used up quite a bit of uncommon parts and stuff already as well. So even just getting it up the first couple of tiers here didn't seem all that promising. We're talking about rare parts and rare ore and stuff like that already. So the Crozier was out off the bat. Also, its ship ability decreasing their critical hit damage by small amounts for the first few rounds. There are certain situations where that might be beneficial, like obviously having a Crozier with this ability pretty high when fighting, if you were fighting NX-01 hostiles or something like that, it might make a difference, but of course you can't fight them with anything other than that ship, so not as important. And I don't know if there's any other ships out there that have like auto crits in that first couple of rounds that this would really save you a lot for, so this one was off the list. So then it was down to the Sanctus and the Sompek. The Sompek lowers their armor piercing, shield piercing, and accuracy by X%. So again, instead of boosting your mitigation value, you're just lowering their penetration values, which can have a bit of an effect too, especially as you get to the higher levels. Now, there are some hostiles that do have this number jacked up, so they're having, 500, 1,000% normal, above normal, in terms of what their piercing stats are. So you lowering it by 50%, it's helping, but it's not making a huge impact. And again, this one I do have the parts for. They're all pretty similar in terms of cost. They're pretty equivalent to each other. And I might end up building one of these. I might end up having 256 rares. We're going to see exactly how that works out. But the Sanctus' ship ability, decreasing their shield health by X% at the beginning of each round for the first 5 rounds of combat. Well, this just seems really good, right? At the start of round 1, you just take away 10% of their shields. You do that over the first 5 rounds of the fight, you've eliminated 50% of their shield. It's a built-in Yuki ability. So now you're going to be putting a lot more damage to the hull. And as you level this up, well, I mean, by some of these higher levels here, you're getting, 15, 16, 13 rather, 16, 17%. You can get it to the point when you get it to tier 8, basically, and take it to level 41, or tier 9, rather. You're going to take all their shield health away through, 4 or 5 rounds of the fight, which is going to let you kill hostiles a lot faster. And eventually, if you get it all the way up, it's 25%. They're going to have no shields, guaranteed by the end of round 4. That seems pretty good. That is a pretty good ship value. Plus, I also happen to have the credits and I had a lot of parts. So for me, this was the best of the 3 in terms of ship abilities. But the Sompek isn't bad. Definitely not bad. And then it's an Explorer, and you've got things like Talios and Defiant and whatnot that will fill your interceptor role in a pinch, and you've got a Monavine that might eventually fill your battleship role. But as far as Explorers go, it's Voyager. Titan ain't doing it. Cerritos ain't doing it. So you basically just have Voyager to work with. So I could understand wanting a Sompek to fill in that gap, basically, in the arsenal. Also, you've got a Borg cube. That'll fill your battleship role pretty nicely as well, especially if you get this thing tiered up and you can take your cube up a couple extra tiers. So that was my thought process behind which G5 rare ship to go for. Bad Wolf says that his maxed Sompek is around 750 million power, but the max Sanctus is only 736. So slightly better. Oh, I didn't even join. I totally forgot about that epic that I flew all the way out here to join, right? Is it full anyway? It is, but there's a couple of smaller ships in there, but it's not going to matter because, well, this guy's got his 1 billion power Borg cube there. What's that? That's tier, what tier is this? That's 13, I guess? Yeah, that's tier 13. Okay. And he's basically a billion power, so there you go with filling in a battleship role. Yeah, I don't want to, they don't need the power. I don't want to bump anybody. I'll let that one just go, and I'll just jump in the rare here. An alliance made of Carissas has all 3 of the 53 uncommons and took them all to tier 5 plus, and has 2 of the 56s so far. That is definitely a lot of materials invested in ships. I'm going to have to imagine that's a person who spends pretty regularly between buying a battle pass, probably buying the monthly pack for 100, the elite resource bundle every month, probably buying a treasury as well. So, you know, you can certainly do that if you want to have that significant dollar investment. But trying to maintain and manage those ships on, a no spend, or like I'm just doing a $20 battle pass only kind of thing. Maybe I'll take my free treasury once every 3 to 4 months. It's certainly going to be hard to make some progress on those. Maybe you get lucky and you can keep doing a whole bunch of, even solo armadas don't really pay you back in resources. They give you ship parts for the Dominion solos, which I guess could be helpful there. Yeah. Nero, you only built one of the rares. You took the Sompek and then you built all 3 of the epics. Okay. Yeah. I can see that being a problem. Fullman wondering, why do the late fed ships seem so meh? Maybe because all the officers are fed and they know, hey, you're just going to go ahead and use all your faction credits on them. So you're not really, probably not going to build all the fed ships. Because they are fed up. Ba-dum-ts. All right, speaking of fed up, time for round 2. So let's go. Let's get 40 more. And we're taking off the hoodie. I apologize in advance to anyone who doesn't like what they're about to see. Whew, all right. That felt pretty good. Hollywood, you count at 41. I will take your number. No, we'll still count that as 80. What can I say? I've been watching a lot of Pat McAfee's YouTube and ESPN streams, so I figured let's just go sleeve this shirt and just get this over with, right? My office is a mess. Most of that stuff does have to get sold, though. I just haven't had the time to actually organize it so I can properly list it, so I can sell it appropriately and have it draw the right attention and things to maximize its profit. Yeah, I like Pat McAfee's show, and just him as a person seems like a pretty cool dude. Obviously, he's in a bit of a, you know, pissing contest right now with ESPN, which I kind of understand and sympathize with because it's really annoying and frustrating when you're trying to do something right and the company that, is in charge is just seems to be dead set against actually doing something that would be successful, right? So the fact that he's actively just telling it like it is and calling people out for stuff. You keep going. You keep doing what you're doing, Pat McAfee. We like it. We like what we're seeing. All right, so we're a third of the way done. That's not bad. That's not bad so far. Ooh. It's starting to get a little sweaty though, not gonna lie. I'm sure by the time this is all said and done, I'll have a nice little glisten going about me. Yeah, he was a punter for the Indianapolis Colts for, I don't know, 8 or 9 seasons until I think he had issues with, like, he had a knee injury, and I think he has no cartilage left in his leg or something like that. So he had to retire. When usually those guys can play for very long periods of time because most of the time they don't get hit, right? It's not uncommon to see place kickers and punters play into their 40s, and I think he retired at like 31. But it seems to be working out for him pretty well because now he's got a very successful sports chat show, which he's on ESPN for an hour every day, and then he continues streaming live on YouTube where he can curse and swear and say whatever the hell he wants. And he's got, what, 2.5, 3 million subscribers on YouTube now. So, yeah, good for him. Good for him. Napalm's got a Star Trek Fleet Command question. Although he did call me. Oh, you know what? Actually, I think he's talking to Tim. Tim, this one's for you. Just kidding, man. I know it's a typo. It's fine. Armada events into incursions. Well, the Armada events, one, take advantage of your quick start ability. Armada quick start will certainly be your friend when trying to run stuff during incursions. Two, you do have all tonight and tomorrow morning to, if you wanted to do armadas, to get them done and out of the way. You'll also have a hour-long window on Saturday when incursions ends Saturday morning. Before this event goes away, you'll have another hour. You can, scramble and squeeze a bunch of other armadas in as well. Again, especially if you have Armada Quick Start. which I'm sure they are trying to incentivize people to go spend their credits or buy packs to get credits to go get that ability if you don't already have it. It is a tremendous help. So if you don't have it, I do recommend that you get it. What do we got here? That's an uncommon. Don't care about that. That's an uncommon. Don't care about that. If I'm going to set one, I'm going to set a bigger one than that. Did everyone get the same server matchups as last time? No, they should all be different matchups this time around. Bad Wolf. Whatever was in your X SLB was not the right matchups. They hadn't released those yet. But what's on the website, or not even on the website, because there's nothing on the website. What's on Discord should have the correct matchups for you. Hollywood, you're ready for level 41 hostiles in G4 space. You're looking for the mission Dark Space. It is part of your natural progression chain. That gold mission chain that like prompts you to upgrade your ops and things like that. The one that's surrounded by the gold border, which for me is devotion at this point now. It's part of your main mission chain that's going to require you to update some stuff and, things like that. So if you're behind on that mission chain, you might have to do a few missions to catch up. But somewhere in there is going to be the upgrade to Ops 38 requirement, and then, it will unlock Dark Space for you. But you have to do a whole bunch of other stuff, obviously, first in that to keep that chain moving along. Napalm would be great, but if you're not too small for it, in terms of getting the Armada quick start, well, yeah, unfortunately, if you're a lower level player, well, you're kind of, do all your events today, then it's basically it. Spend all your directives today while you still can, is the only advice that I would have for you. And, Scopely would just tell you, well, level up faster then, so you don't have to worry about it. But we don't listen to their advice because they don't know what they're talking about. Hollywood, you made it to, you're still only Ops 36, but you've leveled up your faction rep, and now it needs you to kill 41 hostiles. So what you can do for those, if it's killing Klingons or Romulans, you can come in here to these systems here, the ones that don't give you faction rep for killing the hostiles. If you have to kill level 41 feds, you can still, you can always do, where is it? You can always kill the big ones in Soul. You can go here and you can kill the 49s, and that'll satisfy your requirements as well. 41s should also occasionally pop in like a Groombridge. So you've got some 41s that do still spawn there. It is going to be a little bit more time consuming to get your dailies done though. NetNiv did post the link to the mission chain over on stfc.space, so you can see what mission you're on, make sure you're up to date, and then see how many are in between. So for example, if we just hop over there, thank you for posting the link. So here's your deep space. You can see that it's part of a chain, and then you can scroll back and find out where you are in said chain. And if you're like, oh, and if you get too far and like, well, go to temporal contamination. And you can see, oh, I don't even have that one yet, well, then you're definitely further and further behind, so you're going to have a lot of catching up to do. Okay, so this is done. This is done. Those guys are done. Dishes are done, man. We also do have a research event going on right now, so let me knock out a couple of these. Now, don't do Voyager stuff, because we got that event coming up in a couple of days. So don't do any Voyager stuff you've got going on, but this is a good opportunity to do stuff, say, perhaps for your Monavine, or just getting more Armada credits over here. Whatever the case may be. Hey, good evening, Bear Butt, Thumbelina, welcome on in. Oh, I do need to boost my warp range too, so I can reach some bigger hostiles. Can also try and boost my Armada gains while I'm here. Take an extra couple percent of credits. These things do start to stack up between here and between the Cardassian ones. You can really start to get yourself a nice little boost on Armada credits. Thanks for the lurk, Netniv. Appreciate you not just turning the computer off and walking away. Do I remember one of the audience gave you a crew using Khan as captain? Oh, Kang as captain, I think is what it was. You got the big swarms. So you're using what? Kang with Strange New World Spock and Gorkon, probably? And then like Hugh and everybody below decks? Was that the one that we were talking about? Or Lorca? Strange New World Spock with Kang and Lorca and Hugh. Get the hull breach, get them lower their mitigation, do all the crits, and have Spock to at least boost your mitigation a little bit. I think that might have been something that we were talking about. I know it definitely involved Kang, though, for sure, because that was, and a good opportunity to break out an officer that we don't typically use every day. Alright, that's the max I can take the warp range on my Monavine. I don't need more broken parts. I got those maxed out. Yeah, let's get more Armada loot. I figured as much. I figured you wouldn't want to put Khan spelled incorrectly as captain in that scenario anyway, so a little inductive reasoning here. Deductive reasoning. I always get those two mixed up. All right, so we've done what? We've already got 200 done. I just need to do the last 40, and then we're good, right? No, I don't think that's accurate. You just got back from the Star Trek cruise. Well, congrats, first off, on going on the cruise. I hope that was a lot of fun. You got to meet Ultimate DJs in person, right? And who else was there with them? Griffin was there with them too, right? So, I mean, I'm sure that ranked right up there with meeting the 40 or so Star Trek celebrities who were also there, right? So, you know, Will Wheaton, Ultimate DJs, Will Wheaton, Ultimate DJs, like, that's a tough one. Now, Thumbelina, do you have any good stories that you can share, or anything especially anything of DJ, like him doing something that just embarrassed himself, falling down drunk somewhere, falling in the pool? That'd be awesome. Did he fall in a pool? Did someone throw him in a pool? You got hugs from Doug Jones. Which one's Doug Jones? Oh, that guy. Okay, sure. That's a good deal. Yeah, when I found out about it, that he was going on the cruise, and obviously looked and saw where they were going and everybody who was going to be there, it sounded like it was going to be an amazing time and fun thing. And hopefully there's always that fine line, but those people are obviously stuck on a boat, right, with thousands of fans. They know what they're signing up for when they get in there. That of course they're going to be, not just inundated with stuff when they're doing things, but I mean, people are just going to see them out and about, eating their lunch, or sunbathing by the pool, and they're going to want to take pictures and stuff too with them. So if Will Wheaton threw DJs in the pool, I would have paid Will Wheaton to throw DJs in the pool. I would have started a GoFundMe for that. I wouldn't even start a GoFundMe. I'd have been like, here, take my tax refund, Will. It's all yours. Just throw DJ in the pool. Oh, he's the guy who plays Saru in Discovery? Okay. Okay. Well, that's cool. They walk around, they were really wonderful. Awesome. How fast can you get the mantis from the Incursion store? I don't remember offhand. I don't think it takes very long. I feel like they made it fairly cheap in there. Like they wanted it to be, pretty accessible. Well, that's good. And you would hope so too, because I mean, especially for a lot of these actors, like, they're working actors, but like the thing they might be known the most for is their role on Star Trek, right? It's the thing that's brought them the most notoriety. There were a lot of them working actors. They do commercials, they do theater, they do, small productions, independent films, made for TV kind of. Well, now it's like straight to streaming service kind of stuff. So, um, you know, the fact that people still care about this character you played 20 years ago and are still excited to see you, I can understand why at some point in time it might feel like it's just enough. Like I've done other stuff too. I'm not just this one character. But then again, it's like people still love this character. They're still talking about it 20 years later. Like embrace that for what it really is. And I think a lot of them have, and that's why they continue to do things like this. So that's awesome. This was the seventh year that they've done this cruise. So good time indeed. I had no idea about it. Honestly, I just found like I know other celebrities and things like that do cruises, so this isn't surprising. Case in point, my sister is a huge fan of the 80s boy group New Kids on the Block. They do a cruise, which she's gone on 3 or 4 times, maybe more than that now. It's like a 2 or 3 day cruise from New York City and out into the ocean and then back. Um, so if they're doing a cruise, why wouldn't Star Trek do it? Is there a Star Wars cruise? Is there a Lord of the Rings cruise? Let's get these going, right? Thumbelina, you've been on 6 of them already. Wow. Okay. So at this point in time, like they're starting to remember you. Like, oh, I've seen you before. Oh, hey, it's you again. What's new? That's cool. I like that. Uh, Mark also does bring up a good point, Napalm. It depends on if you win, because that's very true. The amount of credits that you get depends very much on if you are on the winning server or not, and that will influence your ability to source anything out of the incursion store faster. Hollywood's asking about a West Coast cruise, or is it just East Coast? Last year it left from LA and it was a complete horror, so thankfully back to the East Coast. Okay. And if saying how about a streamer's cruise? I mean, DJ could have told any of us about it, but no, he wanted to keep it all to himself. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So it might take. I think it might take a couple of incursions events, a couple of wins to get the mantis. Maybe I don't remember the exact conversion rates. I'm sorry. But also, obviously you can usually get it through an event store as well, which we might have one coming up here in maybe March, definitely by April. It won't be any later than April. There will definitely be, if it's not March, it 100% will be an event store in April because there's no way that they can stretch Enterprise into a 5 month arc. That's just not happening. Next year's booking opens on March 12th. Scopely will find a way. All right. Let's go do 40 more before I get too complacent and completely forget about it. And realize that, oh no, the stream's over. Haha, sorry. All right. So, next round, 40 more push ups. Here we go. All right. For those of you just joining the stream who are wondering what the heck is going on here, so back in January, we did a little YouTube promotion. So for every new follower or subscriber I got over on the YouTube channel, I said I would do 2 push-ups at the end of the month. Well, I got 120 something new followers, subscribers over there, so I have to do 248 push-ups. I was going to do them at the beginning of the month, but then I got COVID, had to postpone it a little bit. So now we're getting all caught up. Well, that's the fun thing about doing push-ups on leap day. That means I only don't have to do it for 4 more years, right? I just got them all out of the way. It doesn't really count. Hey, anything you post on Facebook today, for those of you who still use Facebook, won't show up in your memories for 4 more years. So if you do something stupid, you're like, fell down drunk in the pool. Well, it'll be a fun little thing to remember 4 years from now. Will we get a YouTube video, fitness and muscle building? That might be the new topic of my channel in come the end of May. I guess we'll have to wait and see. So let me scroll back up, see what else I missed here. Oh, let me update before I lose count. All right, there was 40 more, so we're halfway done. We're halfway there. Thought the push-ups were going to 56. No, nothing wrong with going to 56. 56 is fine. Ooh. Excuse me. If you saw me run off camera there for a second, it's because the missus was out in the entryway off to the side there. She did not want to be on camera, but she wanted to ask me a question real quick, so I just skedaddled over there. Monopoly Go will be the next game? No. That'll be Monopoly No. If I'm leaving this game because I'm unhappy with Scopely and the way they run it, why on earth would I ever decide to play another game that they make? You could tell me that, they replaced every person who works there, and I probably still wouldn't play another one of their games after this one. The only reason I keep playing this one is because, honestly, of all the time, money, and effort I've invested into it, and the fact that I have a community here of people that I actually like talking to and spending time with. So Maverick, ask him if I'm leaving. Maybe. I was talking about it last week. They're on 90-day probationary status, so they have through the end of the May arc to show a lot of the drastic changes that they've been talking about for a very, very long time that they have yet to actually be able to successfully pull off to essentially, put up or shut up is kind of what it's come down to. So we'll see what they get done. We'll see how I feel in May, if I'm still, frustrated and annoyed and fed up, and if I feel like enough is enough, because that's where I'm at. But they're getting $0 from me. Not even buying a $10 flash pass. Not even using gift cards or anything like that. If somebody gave me a gift card and was like, here's a, whatever, X-Sola store gift card, I'd be like, I don't know what to do with that, thanks. Maybe my next game will use it. So. Monopoly Go is pretty boring. There's no community. It's just a solo game. Well, I would figure that too. I figure it's kind of like a Candy Crush kind of thing where you just sit there and play by yourself when you have a few free minutes. Not anything that you would necessarily want to, you know, put together a group of people. There we go. Take those first 2 milestones. Call it a day. I should I should threaten to quit years ago. I would have gotten more lucky pulls. There you go. I did get that NX01. Now, Belair, I'm not pulling a Bubba. First off, that was one of the things I said. Bubba leaving was kind of a shock, caught people by surprise. But given the way that he was treated, I can completely understand the way how mad he was and him deciding to walk away. I wanted to share with everybody that I was not having fun uh, with the game and was very annoyed with basically their lack of accountability. And I had enough of it. 4 years of empty promises or over promising and seriously under delivering, uh, you know, have taken their toll on me. So we're coming up on our 4 year anniversary. Will be in April. So we'll see what happens. It's really the ultimate thing I can say. We'll see if they actually live up to all their promises or if it's just more empty rhetoric that nobody's buying anymore. And given how more and more people are coming around to the idea of, you know what, I'm just not spending any money on this game anymore. I just don't see the investment value. I just don't see what I'm getting out of it. And it seems like every time you buy something, the next month there's just 5 more things that they push out to sell you as well. And it seems like they're just trying to squeeze every last dollar they can out of the game before they pulled the plug on it. I know they already did. Uh, they shut down a program last month or earlier this month. What was it? Kingdom Maker, Kingdom Builder, something like that. And they had like 35 or 40 employees who were working there. They rehomed some of them in different areas, and then they had to lay off like 15 or 20 people, I think they said. So I was reading something about that the other day. NetNiv, you're saying there is a community? Okay. Your daughters were both playing it and they both unfriended you after you kept destroying their buildings? That sounds like something a good father would do. Yeah, spending is definitely down, so definitely trending in the wrong direction for sure. And maybe that will finally be their motivation to do something different. Or that'll have, maybe they'll just take the opposite approach of, all right, well, they're on to us now. They figured it out. We don't know how to do anything we say we're going to do, and they're not just blindly giving us money anymore. So, time to pack up shop and head for a new town. Did I watch Shogun? Not yet, but I have seen the trailers for it on. It's on FX, right? So it's on Hulu, and it looks pretty good. It does look pretty good. They should sell the who will actually develop a product that works. Well, if they think that unlocking an epic officer is worth $400, what do they think? And they think what a pylum or whatever is worth $1,000. I can only imagine what they'll think that their whole game is worth. It's certainly going to be out of my price range. Unless you guys want to start crowdfunding this, right? Everybody pitch in $20. I'll be the new CEO. We'll get it done. First order of business, I'll hire Ripper, and I'll put him in charge of firing and hiring of all programmers. Yeah, I have to wait for it to get to rock bottom, right? This is going to be one of those UFC deals, right? I have to wait for them to be at the point where um, they're getting ready to shut the doors because they just don't have the money and they're so far in the hole, and then I can buy it real cheap and then turn it into something huge and then sell it to somebody else, you know, and make $1 billion. If I hire Ripper, I won't need anyone else. There you go. But keep Beck around. Well, if I had Ripper, I think I'd have to keep Beck too, right? They're kind of a package deal. What we doing? We were doing Starship Tree, weren't we? Yeah, we were getting credits. We need Armada credits. More Armada credits. Lloydson, one of the games you used to play with your brother-in-law, when it shut down, they started just giving away free stuff. There you go. Sure, I can see that. I mean, obviously, if they have the servers up and running through X date, right? They're already paying for the stuff anyway. At this point in time, just, give the people a send off. Let them say thank you for all your hard work and whatnot. Here's 2 to 3 months that we're going to run this. We're shutting it down at the end of whatever. And here's a whole bunch of free stuff. Build all the stuff you wanted to. Go, blow up armadas and level up ships or whatever. Yeah, go have a blast. That's a great thing to do for a company, that knows that their game is coming to an end and they're going to wrap it up. Just start, just open the floodgates, overload people with, materials and just let them have at it. I like that. That's a good deal. Do you remember what game that was or what company that was? That wasn't the crew? Were you close or did you die horribly? Thumbelina. If you flood the economy with freebies, people might want to spend again. Possibility. G Play, welcome on in. Thank you very much. You died horribly. Yeah, Kang was definitely there. Hmm. If anybody's watching, Thumbelina has herself stuck in a situation with Q's trial hostiles where she has a very large swarm hostile that she cannot kill with her Franklin A at the moment. We pulled up a crew the other day that she was able to use to get by them. She can't remember what it was. Now they're back. We remember it involved Kang. I thought it was Strange New World Spock as captain as well, but maybe I'm mistaken about that. Obviously, you got to have Hugh below decks and probably Paris as well, or Mariner. And was Kang captain? Let's go look at Kang. He gives you what, hull breach for 3 rounds? Kang, Jayla, and Spock is what Lloydson's saying. Jayla would give you the extra shots. So maybe that was it. So if you're putting Kang as captain, you're getting hull breach automatically for 3 rounds. Well, most likely, hopefully. And then obviously you're lowering that stack attack value, lower the accuracy, boost the accuracy, lower their dodge for sure. Jayla makes sense to get the extra shots depending on what tier you've managed to get Jayla to, because the sourcing for her still sucks, which is shocking considering the mechanic that she's involved with is grossly outdated. You'd think they would just be like, you know what, we're just putting Jayla in the epic pack with everybody else at this point. We don't care. Get all the Jayla shards you want. But no, no, they don't. So then you get some extra shots with her. Those extra shots are going to be, they're going to have very low mitigation because of Kang's ability there. Hopefully the hull breach kicks in. Hugh below deck, now they're all criticals. And then Strange New World Spock to give you some mitigation. I was thinking he needed to be captain, but yeah, his just decreases their critical hit chance, which isn't as important. I got him mixed up with Ortega's in terms of their critical abilities because hers boosts your critical hit chance. So I got those mixed up in my head. So thank you, Lloydson, for pulling that. And Gan as well. Also mentioning it right there. Yep. SKZ also saying the same thing. So there you go. Kang, Jayla, Spock. That's the crew. Well, I'm not speeding this up now. Oh, Gan, you brought the Tribune. Is that thing maxed? Yep. There it is, 12 out of 12. As long as the opponent is burning, Tribune increases the number of shots of each weapon by 5. Ooh. Dear God. And then you've got Neelix at 100% below decks, so you're guaranteed to have burning. And then you've got Riker doing a cumulative damage boost and Data giving you an increase in your penetration stats. I think you're just trying to show off that you got Data maxed. I think that's what that is, right? I'm going to guess actually all your better officers are probably out doing something else. Otherwise, it'd be like Chakotay and Janeway here or something like that. And you'd be having like Chakotay with Miles O'Brien and Neelix below deck, and it's like 57 shots in round 2. Ready, go. All right. So where did we get to? So I'd have to do 3 more rares, or I'd have to do another epic to get to that next milestone. I think I'm good here, right? I think I got the first 2 milestones. I got a little bit of credits for doing so. I got myself on the leaderboard here, which pays out to the top 50. So at least, I'm in consideration here. I could always run an uncommon or 2 or 3 if I wanted to try and like break a tie or something. But we'll worry about that in 2 more days. Before I do my next set, what is the best auto grind Monavine crew? If you have your research done on your Monavine data, it's Pike Moreau data, Enterprise E data. It does make a big impact because of his ability, his cascade ability, if you have your Monavine research done. and as high as you can get it. It's this one right here, this isolytic barrage. The higher you have this, the bigger the base percentage goes up, which means then Data, when he does his cascade multiplier, magnifies that even more, and you can kill hostiles fairly quickly in that scenario. You got it covered. Awesome. Good team effort there. So I was killing some of these 51s earlier using that exact crew. Did not really take a whole lot of hull damage here, ending the fight in 2 rounds. Obviously, if your data is higher, that will make a bigger impact, and also depending on the level of your research there. But as you can see here, I'm getting very large numbers of this isolytic damage because of the Monavine's ability and Data then multiplying that. The fight doesn't go long enough usually for Picard to come into play here. Yeah. We do got to do another set, don't we? All right. It's been a few minutes. Let's get the next set in here before I turn into a pumpkin. Let's slide on over there. Then we'll look at these armadas here and see what I'm actually getting in terms of loot credits. But once more into the breach, dear friends. Let's do it. All right. 40 more to go. 40 more down. Next month I have a Girl Scout cookie eating contest. They're getting harder to buy cookies from, man. I was out in the grocery store the other day and they were there, but they had like a line, and then people wanted to talk to them and actually decided just buying the cookies and like actually try and show the kids like encouragement and be like, oh, you're doing such a great thing being out here. And I remember when I was a Girl Scout, and it's like, yeah, okay, keep it moving, lady. There's cookies I want to eat. My wife and I went out last weekend. We went to the local diner near us, and there were some Girl Scouts out in front there, but they were like packing up. It was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and they were okay. The morning breakfast crowd and lunch crowd or whatever, I guess, are over. So we're it's sunny, nice day actually. They were like, nope, we're going home. And I was like, oh well, I was gonna buy some cookies, but guess not. The real question is, how many calories am I going to eat after all this exercise? Hopefully not many. Hopefully I'm burning more calories from all the crap I was eating for the week or two that I was sick. And you know, when you're sick, you don't feel like eating. You don't even feel like cooking food or anything like that. So you're just ordering delivery, and there's only so many healthier options from delivery food places, depending on where you live, of course. A garage full of cookies, you say? I forget. I think it was, there was one year where I was in my like late 20s. I actually bought cookies from a troop off of eBay. The mom was like, yeah, we ordered a bunch of cookies and we didn't sell all of them. So I still have, she had a freezer in her garage and she had like 50 boxes of cookies in there that she was trying to get rid of. And I was like, I will take 5 of them. Thank you. And bought them on eBay for, whatever, $3 a piece. And then she, for, a couple bucks for shipping. And it was like, yes. It was like late March, early April. So after Girl Scout cookie season was over, I was like, well, I mean, if they were kept in the freezer, that's not really going to matter anyway, because, well, I'm going to eat them in a week or two. So, yes, where could we find this garage full of cookies, you say? We'll have a cookie eating contest, right? I got to eat 248 Thin Mints. They got a good thing going over there. I feel bad for those Boy Scouts. Oh, they got that popcorn, and people don't want to buy that. They need to come up with a new thing. But it's tradition. Yeah, well, it traditionally doesn't sell very well. By comparison, Girl Scouts sell way more cookies than Boy Scouts sell popcorn. And I have to imagine it's not even close. Maybe there's some numbers on that we could pull up. Oh, there's a warehouse. Ooh, well, I'm sure, yeah, regional thing, right? Where they just have crates of cookies. Be like the Nightmare Before Christmas, right? We're hijacking the cookie heist, the cookie sale this year. We're gonna take it over and we're gonna do it a new way. Oh my! I mean, it's a good business, and they keep getting more expensive every year. They used to be like $3 a box. Then it was like 3.50, $4. The last time I bought them was probably 3 or 4 years ago, and they were $5 a box. What are they selling for now? Anybody know? Are they still $5 a box, or are they more than that now? They're still 5 a box. Okay. Girl Scouts sell over $800 million in cookies annually. The popcorn sales for the Boy Scouts are not as well known, but still reporting over 600 million for 2022, according to Google. Well, thank you very much, NetNiv, for looking that up. I'm surprised that they do sell that much pop. Maybe they just feel bad for the kids. I don't know. Maybe people like the popcorn too. I mean, you do get a big tub of it, so maybe that's enough. I've never heard people get excited about it though. They're always like, "Oh yeah, Girl Scout cookies! I can't wait to get those." I never hear people saying like, "Oh, Boy Scout popcorn! Let's get that." But maybe it's a secret thing. They're like, "Yeah, yeah, get those Girl Scout cookies and give me some of that Boy Scout popcorn while you're at it." Yeah, different markets are different prices. That's true. Obviously, bigger cities and things like that, you are going to see a higher cost. You guys are paying six out there in California. It's not surprising. I'm sure New York City would probably be $6 or higher too. Ugh. All right. So before any of you guys forget, reminder: move your bases tonight. Incursion starts in 14 hours, which for me is 11 a.m. Eastern time, right before an hour before event resets. So, and it is going to be the 24-hour incursion. So make sure your bases are moved. Make sure you're not in territory. Make sure you've got a long enough shield on to cover yourself. The last thing you want to do is be the guy that your alliance is trying to scramble to get online to bubble up and move your base, because the other alliance has already found you and has already cracked you and starting to loot your resources. Don't be the person who puts your alliance on blast and put your entire server in the hole for an event that a lot of people really do want the rewards from. Don't be that guy or girl. How many cookies to a box? They vary by type. Like, you get more Thin Mints than you do like the peanut butter patties, which are the ones I love the most. Those are the ones that are like the cookie with like the little peanut butter smear and then they're covered in chocolate. You only get like 12 or 15 of those in a box. But like Thin Mints or the shortbread or something like that, you'll probably get like 20 per sleeve, and there's two sleeves in a box, so you might get 30 or 40 cookies. So can you buy them online? Maybe. Maybe there's some entrepreneurial troop leaders out there selling them on the internet. I'm sure it's something that's frowned upon because it takes away from the girls locally selling to their communities if you can just easily buy them online somewhere. That's kind of not what it's about, so I'm sure they frown upon that. But I also know if it's like March or April and the cookie sale is over and you still have them left, it's like, well, get rid of them any way you can, right? Get them out there. So, oh, they do sell online? Okay. Cookie season is usually February, so that's usually when you start to see them out there. They usually come out in February, so they've been out there for a couple weeks now. It's a fun little topic we've just segued into. They sell online, but the kid is supposed to deliver them. Oh, okay. If Scopely did the cookies, no, I don't even want to think about it. Why are you trying to taint such a good, wholesome memory that I have here by even putting that out there? That's it. You're on timeout. You're on timeout, Netniv. Go stand in the corner. You go sit on your bed and you think about what you've done. Yeah, they give them to you one crumb at a time. You get enough, you can mash them all together in your hand, and you can actually make a cookie. All right, so let's see what we got. So we got 2.72 million loot off of that one. The Epic gave me 412,000. plus the box for the starter's chest. And the rare gave me 1.65 million, as well as the starter's chests. Those each should have another couple hundred K in them. 120 and 200. Okay, nice. So we could open. Now, can I know I'm close. Yeah. I need a couple thousand more. And I can get this last final component here and get Armada level 50. Oh, we can also open some artifacts. Okay, let's. Silent Lord, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome on into our stream. £50 a cookie if Scopely sells them? Yeah. Lloydson, last year you worked at a cookie hub and DoorDash would deliver them to the people that ordered them? Oh, yeah, I can imagine. If that was a thing. Jamabi, you want to post your niece's cookie web link? She needs 34 more boxes to meet her goal. Where's your niece located? Where are these boxes coming from? And does she ship? How far can she ship them? She's in New York? All right, yeah, go for it. What's up, Just Q? Welcome on in. Thank you for the 25 bits. All right, let's skedaddle on out of here. Oh, we got this last one. That should have been good for another couple hundred K. Nice. Lloydson, your daughter used all her cookie dough. I see what you did there, but don't. Dad jokes. Love it. To go on a trip to South Africa last summer. That also sounds awesome. South Africa doesn't have a very good reputation, but it does have some very wonderful looking areas, nature-wise. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe certain areas are better than others, like all countries, right? And obviously, if you're with tourist groups and things like that, then maybe they're extra security, or they're only being real careful in what areas they take you to. So, I like it. She saw an elephant poop. Nice. All right. Let's do it. Let's get one more in here. This will get us to 200. We're at 160. Now we're going for 200. Let's get some more. Get some more push-ups done here. Ooh, all right. Home stretch. Home stretch. And I can still feel my arms for now. I did throw in a couple squats for free, just, having a little fun with it, right? Goofing around. All right, we got a link. Bam, let's see what we got here. 34 packages to go. Oh, these are $6 a piece. Uh-oh, hang on now. What's going on here? That's another cool thing you can do too, right? You can donate them. I know that at some point in time they were, you could used to be able to send, I don't know if you can still do this. You can send them to troops like overseas. You can just order boxes that get donated and is that what they're still doing here? Are they still sending them to like soldiers and stuff? Local military community service? Awesome. So you got to buy at least 4 boxes and then they'll get shipped to you. Okay. And here's what you do. You pay extra for shipping. Okay. I like it. So this is Sierra. So Sierra's trying to get to 100 cookie boxes. Okay. Is there like a, do they get prizes? Obviously, like the girl in the troop who sells the most cookies, whoever gets, um, the most. They win something, right, for selling the most. But Samu, you didn't get a notification. I've been on. What did you miss? You've missed 200 push-ups so far is what you've missed. Only 48 more to go. And now we're selling Girl Scout cookies. Yeah, definitely doing some heavy breathing now. Okay. What do we got here? We got some Thin Mints. Those are delicious. Caramel Delights. I don't think I've ever had those. Peanut butter patties are phenomenal. These are probably my favorite. These are the ones that are the peanut butter covered in chocolate. The trefoils also. These are the shortbread cookies. These are delicious. Peanut butter sandwich cookies are all right. Adventurefuls. I don't know what these are. Let's find out more. Brownie inspired cookies with caramel flavored cream. I'm sorry, creme. And a hint of sea salt. Interesting. I don't think I've had these yet. And then the caramel delights over here. Oh, these look familiar. These are the ones with toasted coconut. I don't like coconut. I'm not a coconut guy. The flavor itself isn't, I'm not overly fond of, but it's also the textural thing. Though these were just added 2 years ago. Okay. Lemonades, these are the lemon flavored shortbreads. Oh, the ones with the icing on it, the lemon icing. Yeah, okay. Serving size, 2 cookies. Who eats just 2 cookies? Nobody's eating just 2 cookies. It's like eating like one Oreo. You're like, yeah, I'm good. I'm done. It's not happening. Caramel Delights used to be Samoa's. Okay. Yeah, I know they flip flopped the names too. Like the peanut butter patties used to be called tagalongs, which I thought was a cute little name. Yeah, one Oreo packet, right? Yeah, who's eating that? Oh, and now they have a gluten-free option as well. The caramel chocolate chip. You get 12 cookies per bag. Okay. And these are the gluten-free kinds that are made with all vegan ingredients. And okay, well, it's nice that they're trying to appeal to different demographics, right? We're using oat flour and a whole bunch of other lecithins and stuff that I can't pronounce. Well, hopefully you hit your goal. Hopefully your niece hits her goal. We'll keep an eye out for her. And best of luck to Sierra. If anybody wants to order some cookies, just scroll on up, find the link that Jamabi posted for his niece in Western New York, and you can get yourself some cookies shipped on away. Yeah, I think the Thin Mints are the ones. Universally, everybody knows Thin Mints, right? Especially because other companies use them. Like Dairy Queen uses them every once in a while. They have like a Thin Mint Blizzard and things like that. So, and I feel like there's a cereal too, isn't there? That includes or ice cream. One of the ice cream companies does like a mint chocolate chip with Girl Scout Thin Mints. So the Thin Mint is definitely the one that's got the most popularity to it. But some of the other ones, the Samoas and the peanut butter ones, are at least. Oh yeah, I've heard of that one. Right. Sure. How long are they selling them for, Jamabi? Do you know? Or Lloydson? How much longer is like cookie season? They got another couple weeks here. Like we going through like St. Patrick's Day and then calling it quits, or you can all donate cookies to my PO box after. I would have to get a PO box for that, but sure. There you go. I'm gonna go get a PO box. You guys can all send me cookies. Ready, go. Honestly, donate them. Send them to the troops, right? I'm sure they would appreciate them way more than I would. You got through March? Okay, so we got some time still. We got some time. I know one of my Facebook friends does something like her son through school or whatever. They do Krispy Kreme donuts, where you can buy like a dozen donuts to help fundraise for stuff like that. And they also do something where you can donate them, and I guess have the donuts sent to either first responders or military personnel and things like that too. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. You can. How are you doing? You vacuum sealing up some Krispy Kremes and FedExing them overnight to Afghanistan? What are we doing here? How are we getting them the donuts? They did not have the answer to that question. They're like, I don't know, man. It just says that they go there. I'm like, so they're keeping them for themselves? And no, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just being stupid now. But so what we were talking about, obviously, is incursions coming up tomorrow. I'm recommending and reminding people to just go ahead and move your bases out of territory now, because I'm sure there are people who are still in territory who are gonna forget, because it's the first place everybody looks, right? Because obviously, if you were in territory and you forgot about incursions, your shield drops as soon as it starts. And people will hop over and they will start looking through all these systems to find stragglers. And then they will tell all their friends, and their friends will relocate as close to in territory as they can, and then hop over, and then start to raid the crap out of you. Incursions tomorrow? Yes. Incursions is tomorrow. In fact, you can find out by going to the in-game. Oh, wait, no, it's not here in the in-game news. Oh, wah wah. Instead, you have to go over. Oh, I don't even have Discord up. Instead, you have to go over. Oh, now we got to run some updates. Would you look at that? to the old Star Trek Fleet Command official announcement section, where they can say, hey, we told everybody about incursions coming up on February 26th, which was Monday. We told everybody Monday night, if you should have been on Discord. That's not a thing. Put it in game. We told you this time and time again. But yes, you can find all your server matchups. We will be taking on server 14, which I understand will not be an easy fight because, one, they're older than us, and let's see what we're looking at here. Let's see what we've got. All right, so we're up to 4 level 70s in the game, by the way, in case anybody's keeping score at home. But we are going to be taking on server 14. And they've got a couple of 68s, a bunch of 65s, 64s and 65s, okay. Yeah, they got a lot of 60-plus players. At least a decent smattering of them. Most in a couple of alliances here, POW and I'm going to guess this is some type of dragon thing. So if any of you guys... Oh, there's another Tiberius. Uh-oh. If any of you guys out there are on server 14, I'll see you tomorrow. Community management team. Yeah. They put it on their MySpace page. Nice. Is there a fun band song playing while you do it too? Finny, since you can't count on a proper incursion notification, your default base location is in a lower level system? Sure. Samo's asking, how do you get the Relentless Assault for the Pylum? So all of the rare Relentless Assaults, so for the ship abilities here, for all of the uncommon ones, they unlock automatically when you hit the appropriate level of your armory building to match the corresponding level of the ship, I believe it is. For the rares and epics, they can only be obtained by buying them. Once you get the armory to the appropriate level for the uncommons, they just gift it to you. Isn't that so nice of them? But if you want the other ones, I believe they're all hidden away. Which, I don't know, does it really matter? Because nobody's buying them anyway. I think they're in the faction ship bundles. These are all the blueprints. Cloaking, refits. Yeah, here they are. Gladius. Those are the refits there. Burrell. Is my building not high enough that it's not going to sell me those yet? Ah, here it is. Pile of mobility unlock. $49.99. You get not only the Relentless Assault ability, but you also get a bunch of random other stuff that isn't really all that good. No, thank you. At one point in time, I think they were all $99.99, so it's nice to see that some of them have come down in price. Maybe if they keep coming down in price, people will actually consider buying them. If they put it to the in-game news, people would spend less on resources. Well, Do you know how many people actually get looted and then just quit? Especially when they feel like they don't know that incursions was happening and they get frustrated and they're like, oh God, why does this game never tell me what the heck is going on? This is ridiculous. I've had enough of this crap and now all my resources are gone. I'm not starting over. And they just quit and don't come back. They should announce incursions like they knew the new arcs. Basically, when you log into the game, it just pops right up and tells you, hey, incursions is coming. And you know what? Tomorrow they might have something. Be like, hey, incursions started. You'd be like, wait, what? It was 4 hours ago. Why didn't you tell me then? Olympus has a 7-day shield up. If you had been in territory and missed the stream, you would have been very upset. Nobody in your alliance told you? They didn't post anything on your alliance page about, like, hey guys, incursions is tomorrow? Incursions is Friday? Incursions is coming soon? That's just sloppy leadership. Who's your admiral? Go talk to your admiral and be like, hey, I didn't know incursions was tomorrow. What's going on here? Why didn't you tell people? Sometimes you can do all the announcing in the world. Some people still claim not to have heard about it or believe that it's coming. Well, there's that too. You do get people who are like, yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. And then you get people like, oh, I didn't know it was happening. And it's like, we've been posting on Discord since Monday. Oh, I must have missed the announcements. I'm like, because that means you haven't been on Discord since Monday. Or you've got the channel muted or something like that. Oh, I got tired of getting the announcements. It's like, well, it sucks to be you because my alliance actually went so far the other way in terms of being prepared that anybody everybody had to move their base today. If your base was still, in territory at noon today, you were getting kicked from the alliance, and you were fair game if anybody saw you with their shield down to loot you, and you weren't allowed to come back until after incursions was over, because they ain't fooling around. And I can understand why people put a lot of time and money, especially into some of these higher level ships and things like that, and into these events to try and be competitive and to actually compete against these other servers. And if other people are just going to be, spoiling it for everybody else, because as we've seen time and time again, one player leaving their shield down can lose trillions of resources, and that's the ball game. That is absolutely the ball game. The incursion prep events are kind of a giveaway that it's coming. Well, that too. Oh, Olympus, your alliance did an at here ping instead of an at everyone ping? Yeah. Maybe you think you should do an at everyone ping tonight, or tomorrow morning, and be like, hey, incursion starts in 2 hours. Move your shit. Netniv has a player on his server say, as long as you don't do things how I like, you'll never win incursions. So somebody who's just intentionally throwing it. Yeah, there are people out there who do stuff like that. Usually you got to try and hopefully loot as much of their resources from them as you can instead of letting the other server get them. But yeah, I would Olympus. I think that's a good idea. Mm. SK thinks there's a large percentage of softcore players compared to hardcore. Yeah, very much so. Very much so. There are definitely, that there's that small percentage of people who actually take the game seriously, and there are a lot of other people who are just like, it's a game, I'm just playing it for fun. But the people who do take it seriously are very serious about letting the fun seekers uh, ruin this event for them. So if incursions isn't your thing, don't be that guy. Just move your base now. Throw up a 2-day, a 3-day shield, whatever, 3-day shield, and just skip the stupid event. And just be like, I don't care about this. I don't want anything to do with this. I'm just going to do my other thing myself, do my dailies, and call it a day. Awesome. Don't take everybody else down with you. That's all. All right. We've got 48 left. I'm just going to do them all right now. That's it. Last set, home stretch. And then and then that's it. This is done. This is over. I can go fall down somewhere and not lift my arms for a while. 48 to go. Let's do it. Oh, all right, that hurt a little bit. That last one hurt a little bit. And yes, I was really expecting the. I'm surprised the cat hasn't shown up sooner, because while one of our cats, he's cool, he doesn't mind anything. This other one, the darker colored one, the gray one, we like to refer to him sometimes as the supervisor, because the instant anybody starts doing anything, he always has to show up and throw his 2 cents in. So, whew. Oh yes, definitely a hydrate there for sure. Thank you guys for all of those. That's 248. Thank you again to everybody who recently subscribed over on the YouTube channel. I appreciate that. We might do some more fun contests like this again in the future. Might not be push-ups. Might not be. Maybe it'll be a different. Maybe we'll do some squats next time. Then I won't be able to walk for 2 days. That might feel a little better. Yeah, but he definitely wants snacks before bed for sure. I was surprised he didn't show up sooner. Usually when I'm in the middle of stuff is when he likes to like get right up in my face and be like, "Hey, what are you doing?" But at least this time he decided like, "Nope, I'm not going in there." Do sit-ups next season. There you go. Stream on a walking treadmill. That's what Reb was doing the other night, right? He's got one of those walking treadmills under his desk. He's got the standing desk now too. So sometimes he'll do that. He'll stream with his standing desk while he's using his little mini treadmill. So let's go ahead and bring this guy back. We'll bring this guy back. Throw up a 12-hour shield to get us to morning. This stuff's done as far as I was going to get it. I don't think there's anything else we really needed to talk about event-wise, right? Obviously, save your Mega Cube directives until day 3, so you get your rebate. Do what you can tomorrow during incursions to get whatever day 2 event is, but it'll probably be something, if I remember correctly, right? There's one of them, I think, is to do Armadas, but it's a 2-day event. And then the third one is to do something about gaining officer shards, right? So don't spend these yet. Obviously, Locutus, if you can keep getting closer to unlocking him, it's probably the best thing in the store. They didn't add anything new, right? It's the same store. Looks like it's the same store. Nothing new going on in here. Tomorrow will be the Talios Vidar PvP stuff. Oh, it could be. Which at least might correspond with incursions and make a little bit of sense, right? If there's a PvP specific event. That's a good call out, Sam. I forgot about that event. The Vidar Talios PvP one. That'll be fun to do during incursions. You'll complete multiple events with the same, or score in multiple events with the same activity. Which is what people were saying they want, right? They want less time in game. They want less time demands on them. Well, here you go. Here's some overlap. Do you still have your bonus refinery going on? It's got a day and 14 hours left, so this will end on Saturday morning. So you still got time to get, 3 or 4 pulls in, depending on where you're at in your cooldowns between now and then. And I think, obviously, we got your ship parts treasury, which was released, if you're so inclined. I don't see, I mean, it's decent value again. You're getting all kinds of ship parts here, rare, uncommons, and whatnot. But I know we looked at this, the amount of rares and uncommons that you get out of this isn't really enough to get a lot done. Like if you're at like tier 2 and you're trying to go to tier 3, 14,000 parts might be a big help. If you're at like tier 5 or 6, 14,000 parts isn't even one component. So this isn't quite as good a value. It's a good head start to get you going on some stuff. And you'll get some materials and stuff out of it too, which might be helpful for upgrading the ship, might be helpful for upgrading the buildings instead, if you really want the materials for that. But as far as just like if you're going to try and tier up some ships, this value isn't really there. No or no thank you. There you go. Vemet as captain can save a few trips back and forth. That's also true. If you are in that position where you're just like, I can't kill anybody, they're all bigger than me, this is stupid, put Vemet as the captain, go fight somebody, you die, you restore some life, you come right back, and try it again. Speaking of restoring life, as long as we're talking about that real quick, so these Exborg favors here, the ones that give you back life, these emergency protocol ones, if you have them and you get X percentage of your health back and things like that after suffering damage, it does show up in the battle log. We can go see that right here in the old battle log here. So we take some damage in round 1. I inflict hull breach on my target. Yada yada, they hit me. At the start of round 2, the first thing that happens is repairs. Now this gave me back 4,600 health because I didn't take all that much damage, and because again it is only a 3% restoration here. But you do actually see it, so you could track it if you wanted to and be like, hey, having this thing, what did it do for me in that fight? Well, over the course of however long the fight was, it restored this number of health. See if I can go back further to where I was doing maybe some freebooters or something earlier. Here we go. So we were killing some freebooters earlier with the Sanctus. Fight was going 7 rounds, and again, freebooters don't hit for a whole lot. But I can see I got back 10,000 health. So if I say I did that, 5 or 6 rounds, I saved 50 or 60,000 hull health. I'm sure as you progress up, it'll get better and better, but I did want to point out that it does at least show up in the battle log, so you can at least see the numbers and at least expect or understand that it is happening. And it's real hull health. It stays. It's not like Leslie where it goes away at the end of the fight. This actually does stick around. Let's go look at one of these armadas then. Maybe we took some more damage in one of these. Some bigger hits. I didn't. There we go. I got back 57,000 hull health in that one. And that time I got back 60,000. And you can see other players as well restoring hull health on their ships. I got 40k back, Gan got 172 back. So, fun little things. Fun, fun, fun. All right. Let's see. But I think that's all I want to talk about. If you guys have any last minute questions or anything before we start to wind things down here and wrap it up for the night. Feel free to throw them in the chat as much as you can, and we'll address those real quick before we start sniffing around to see who else might be online. Two and a half hour stream. You think DJ is probably a no-show again? Well, I'm sure he just got home from his cruise today, right? I don't know if Thumbelina's still here. I think she just got home today, right? I think that was the dates of the cruise. Star Trek Cruise 2024 here. Yeah, they got back today, 2002-29. So I'm sure he's, still traveling back home and or now he's got to catch up on, 7 days worth of stuff, pick up his kids maybe from the ex-wife, whatever he's got, going on there. Who's my favorite officer and why is it Mbenga? Because it's just such a fun name to say. My favorite officer is Hendorf because he reminds me of Dan Henderson, the longtime UFC fighter. So, all right. Well, looking around, I do not see really anybody else online doing much of anything Star Trek Fleet Command related. Sam was on her way to karate practice tonight, so she's going to go kick some butt, break some boards. So she will not be streaming this evening. Maybe she'll be streaming later after she gets back. But I think we're going to go ahead and just wrap things up here for the evening. Thank you all very, very much for hanging out with me tonight. Thank you for the encouragement while I was doing all those push-ups. Thank you for the fun conversations about Girl Scout cookies. I learned some things I didn't know. Good luck tomorrow in incursions, everybody. I'll see you back here Sunday morning for my next stream. If I don't see you around the galaxy first, take it easy.